What's up, everyone? Welcome back to our podcast, Beyond the iPhone Screen. I am Abdulaziz, and this is me. And we're excited to have two amazing guests with us today, where we discuss, is cinema really dead? Honestly, as someone that identifies as a cinephile, I'm shocked to learn that many cinemas, I'm not actually shocked, cinemas are shutting down. And I don't really go there often, so that's the weird part about it.
Because going to the cinema used to be such a big event, and now it feels like most of people are just staying at home, streaming whatever's on Netflix or Cinevibe.
Oh, speaking of Cinevibe, it's today's sponsor. So before we delve deeper, let me tell you about it. Cinevibe is your new go-to platform to all the latest movies and shows. Starting to stream from extensive collection of premium content from all over the comfort of your own home, yada yada yada. You can watch all types of shit on this website. Streaming service. You can use extended code of Cine10 off for 10% off an annual subscription. And enjoy a 1 month free trial. So with Cinevibe, cinema at your fingertips. So thanks to Cinevibe for sponsoring today's episode. Now back to our conversation. We've brought together two people and wanted to hear their thoughts on the subject matter at hand. The supporters who still love cinema and the experience of it, and those who think that it's time to move on. Let's hear from what they have to say about this.
My name is Fatih. I am a cinema lover, and I believe that attending the cinema and immersing yourself in that space is superior to those who spend their nights in their bedrooms or in their studies watching a film on their laptop. I don't think the cinema is dying. Every time I go to the cinemas, there are quite a lot of people who attend the film sessions. So I don't know who exactly is, perpetuating this idea that the cinema is dying, because I think it's thriving. People want to go out, have a drink, grab some popcorn with their friends, with their family, and enjoy a film in the cinema space.
That's expensive, though.
I feel like the streaming services are quite expensive, and the options can be a bit limited.
Bro, you pay that much for one movie on one night. Imagine paying the same price or less on a streaming service with a shit ton of stuff.
That's true.
Our guest number two, let's hear from you. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm Hamad. I'm just a regular, average dude who thinks that cinema's fucking dead at this point. Like, literally just get a Vision Pro Max. You can experience the same thing in a cinema just at home, and it's substantially cheaper compared to going to a movie, getting some food. Like, on top of that, everything is just much cheaper, more convenient for you.
Do you think there's any way that could change your perspective about cinemas?
Unfortunately not. Since I got a MacBook Pro with like the best screen or whatever, I really didn't see the appeal of like going to the cinemas anymore.
What would change, make you want to visit more often?
I think the prices can be a bit expensive, but I feel like cinemas could do with maybe, more people. I think they could decrease the prices.
Yeah.
And you, my friend?
What about like a person like me who's like a movie head a little bit? I like to watch more than one movies, maybe like during the same day. I don't think cutting down just on tickets is gonna do it for me.
Yeah.
So that's why personally I still think that streaming is a better option. I already have all these movies that I want to watch readily available for me, and I can just watch it at my own time as well.
No, look, I'll binge watch something on a streaming service, but if I want to go out and watch those Iranian films, for example, I'll go to Acme and happily sit there and watch it.
Okay, I kind of want to raise an argument. You're talking about like very niche, is it films?
Look, of course, there's a very limited market. I don't mean to sound pretentious or anything, but I don't think many people would be as interested in these foreign international films, right?
With these films, why is it necessary for me to watch it in a cinema? It's not a big spectacle or anything.
No, it's
The sound
it's
effects
not.
don't make any...
It's not. But again, I think, for me, it's more about building community as well, right? Like,
What a community, though. You're not going to talk to anyone there.
No. I know people at Acme because I see them attending a film, and it's like, oh, hey, what are you seeing this week? It builds relationships.
Does it ever get heated?
Oh, not necessarily. It's a little sense of community.
Don't you think you could do the same thing on like Reddit though? Or
Yeah, but it's not the same.
You got freedom of speech.
Oh, well, no, look, okay, you can have online digital communities, but also face-to-face ones. Both can coexist happily.
It's 2024.
Fair enough.
No.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. So, you two, I hope you two get along after this wonderful podcast outing. I appreciate hearing both of your points of views. You ever attend film festivals, especially MIF right now? Hamid, do you like them?
Nope, never attended one.
Oh, why not?
Because I can just watch at home, man.
No, you can't.
No.
You
like-
can't just stream these brand new international films, fresh out of like the Cannes Film Festival. How can you stream them?
Okay, but if they get out of their ass and actually put it up in streaming, maybe I can.
He does raise a point. You could, spread those films, spread those messages.
More
across
people,
with it.
more
Yeah.
people would be able to access those films as well. If I never went to Melbourne, right, I would have never heard of those films in the first place. If they offered it up for streaming, like from the get-go, a lot of people would be watching these films instead of like waiting for like, I don't know, a 2-year period of time before it's uploaded on YouTube. So I don't know why these people, they're like so up their head, like always want to have everything enclosed in their own bubble.
Yeah. I feel like film festivals are so accessible though. Well, you just buy a ticket and attend.
Yeah, but they run out quick, and they're not, what if I live in Canberra, for example, and the film festival's here? I'm not going to
Oh,
cut everything off and come here.
wait. There is the online option as well. Like, there'll be X amount of films that are part of the film festival that you can actually rent online.
What if I don't want to watch those, though?
Yeah, what if it's new? Like, okay, let's say there's a set list of like maybe 10 films they're gonna show.
Yeah.
I don't know if like that's the usual amount of number because I've never been to one.
Oh, there's
but,
hundreds of films, hundreds.
right, but like it's on a period of a week, right? How many films do they show? Hundreds, right?
Yeah.
All right, maybe 50 of them shows up in the cinema, 50 of them does not. You're able to stream it online, rent it out, buy it, but the other 50 you can't because it's like an exclusive Melbourne Film Festival type stuff. I don't get why can't me, an average person, maybe not even in Melbourne, never been to Melbourne, can just hook up an iPad to my TV or something. I'm missing out on a lot of movies that I would have been able to watch if it wasn't for them gatekeeping it from everyone.
Gatekeeping. Okay, I see your point. I actually don't know what I meant to be saying.
So are you saying that streaming win? I think that film festivals, and it goes the same with cinemas as well, instead of gatekeeping their movies solely for cinemas.
But no, how are they going to make money? Like,
No,
off of Deadpool and Wolverine, for example, not that exclusive.
Okay, that's the thing though, locking it away from your average viewers like me.
So they're for profit.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit scummy in my opinion. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I mean, the superhero films, they make billions of dollars.
Right. It doesn't sit right with me still that movies show up the only in theaters slogan, or because just literally 2 months later you see it on their streaming platform. And I think it's a bit pretentious. Just
Oh, especially film festivals. I feel like it's so full of all these guys with weird glasses,
Right.
twirling their mustaches.
Oh, come on, that's such a misconception. That's the popular imagination of what a film festival is.
Okay, if it wasn't like that, put it on Netflix.
Yeah, but then it just loses that character. I mean, anyone can access Netflix.
Why can't anyone access these good movies? What, the good movies are kept there and the junk is fed to everyone?
I mean, look, MIF doesn't always have just good films. There were some mediocre films that I saw this year.
right, but you're locked into seeing those
Yeah.
mediocre films because you have no choice. You spent for that ticket, right?
Say I let you in. That's scummy of them, huh?
It's not
You can't get the
scummy.
money back, could you?
It's not scummy.
It's mediocre, that's it. Money gone.
No, but again, it's an experience, right? I met all sorts of people during the MIF. After the film, we would chat about, what we felt about the film, what we thought it was meant to convey.
Alright, so that was really a very, very interesting and deep, warm take on the subject. I think we've covered both sides really, really well.
Yeah, it's definitely a divided, and it's backed up by what we're seeing in research. Like Bradley in 2023 mentioned that streaming has given rise to binge-watching habits, and people now expect to consume content on their own schedule.
Yeah, it's not just about preferences. There's a broader industry shift in today's world. Like Hollywood studios and their parent companies change how they release movies from cinemas to streaming platforms. I mean, some of them, since COVID, have been premiering specifically only on the platforms. With Trolls World Tour, it was straight to video on demand. Almost 100 million people paid to watch that.
Oh, really?
Most of that money was gone directly to the studio instead of the traditional box office route. So
And I think COVID-19 really sped up this trend as people had to find new ways to enjoy movies.
studios are adapting too. I mean, they need to survive.
Yeah, and also digitalization has made it easier for independent filmmakers to reach wider audience. Like before, they struggled to get screen time in theaters, but now they can showcase their work directly through their streaming platform.
Well, yeah, the PwC did publish a report in 2019 So yeah, the rise of streaming has actually slowed down the revenue growth.
But interestingly, that some theaters are trying to evolve, and we're seeing things like luxury seating, gourmet snacks, and it's like they're trying to offer something you just cannot get at home.
Okay, but these kinds of upgrades are exactly why prices have gone up at cinemas.
True, but those premium experiences don't come with cheap price for the theaters either.
There can be both ways for it to exist. Like in the 1950s, the TV came up, everyone said, "Oh, cinema's dying," but no.
Speaking of changes in cinema world, let's take you to some spot that used to be iconic theaters, but they have been repurposed.
So let's go to the graveyard, shall we? Welcome to the now non-existent Hoyts Richmond, which opened in 1919, but as you can see now, barbecue. All right, so there's a town hall. It still exists. There's all of this. It still exists. Cinema? No cinema. Food. So it used to be known as the British Cinema until Hoyts bought it out. Then it just closed in 1960 and became retail space. So I guess the death of cinema isn't a recent thing. It just started off really early, and now it's just catching up. I guess you can make a barbecue, enjoy, those rich proteins instead of the overpriced popcorn. Let's go exploring more, shall we? So right behind me is a Vodafone. What's different in this case is that they just demolished it. They just flattened it. The cinema literally doesn't exist here. It's literally dead, gone, buried. And now it's replaced by Vodafone, which is strange actually. It's quite ironic since now, the streaming services are killing cinemas. And here's an internet provider which also sells phones and iPads and all, which you can watch movies on. So, it's poetic in some sense, actually. Well, to be honest, I am kind of sad with it not existing anymore, since it was a very, very nice old Art Deco classic from 1921. It used to be known as the Greek cinema when it was bought out by the Cosmopolitan around the 1950s. It was a great cultural hub. So, it is a bit unfortunate, but those days of Melbourne are behind us, and now we got apartment buildings. So, it's good for the modern day housing crisis. Bad if you're into cinema and old buildings and if you're romantic and all that. But hey, shit happens, this is life. So I guess the landscape hasn't really changed much except for the venue itself. Maybe that's the future of the cinema too, which is finding a new role.
There's no simple answer to whether cinema is truly dying or not, but thanks to everyone who tuned in today's episode and our two guests for sharing their thoughts with us.
Remember to use code CINE10OFF for your 10% off discount. And tune in to next week where we bring in Andrew Huberman and Fateh the Cinephile again. And there might be a possible physical altercation. Thank you and have a good night.